Welcome to today's explainer. So, if you live in San Diego County, you know we're absolutely spoiled by the beautiful weather. But that same perfect, mild climate, yeah, it brings some pretty hidden and honestly, highly destructive guests. Today, we're diving into a super practical guide from Top Pro Roofing SD all about troubleshooting and, more importantly, permanently fixing a major headache for local homeowners: roof rats. All right, let's get into it. Picture this. You're lying in bed, the house is dead quiet, and then you hear it. A faint scratching, maybe some scurrying or gnawing coming from right above you in the ceiling. It is a terrifying sound, and honestly, I want to validate that fear for you right now, because if you're hearing that classic noise after dark, it almost certainly means trouble is brewing right above your head. It's probably roof rats. Now, I know the knee-jerk reaction for most of us is to just call up a pest control company, set a few traps, and assume the whole shebang is taken care of. But here's the thing. Pest control alone just isn't a complete solution. Traps and bait, they handle the rats you already have inside. They literally do nothing about the actual holes that let them in the first place. So let's look at Section 1, the breach. How rats enter your roof. You know, San Diego County is actually one of the worst regions in the whole state for roof rats. Our mild weather and all those beautiful mature fruit trees give them year-round cover. And since they are natural climbers, your roof is directly in their path. So, quick question for you. How small of a gap do you think a roof rat actually needs to squeeze through and breach your home? Are we talking a broken tile, a massive hole? Just take a guess. Okay, here's the answer. 0.5 inches. Half an inch. I mean, that's incredibly startling, right? To put that into perspective, half an inch is roughly the size of a standard quarter. So if there's a gap anywhere on your roof line, the size of a quarter, your roof is a highly porous target. These guys are extremely strong climbers, and they'll literally run along your roof just hunting for a gap exactly that size. So where are these quarter-sized vulnerabilities hiding? Well, you're mainly looking at unscreened or damaged attic and gable vents, gaps where your eaves meet the wall, maybe some damaged soffit and fascia, or openings right around your plumbing vents and chimney. And here's a really crucial detail from our source material. Any overhanging tree branches within about 6 feet of your roof, those act as direct bridges, literally on-ramps to these exact entry points. Sure, trimming the trees removes the bridge, but remember, it doesn't close the gaps they've already found. Which brings us to Section 2, spotting an active invasion and hidden damage. So once they squeeze past that tiny half-inch gap, it becomes a pretty gross reality, honestly. If you're brave enough to actually poke your head up into your attic, here's the physical, sensory evidence you need to look out for. You're going to see dark, spindle-shaped droppings, also about half an inch long. You'll probably spot greasy, brown rub marks along the beams and rafters. That's from them traveling their daily paths. You'll see torn-up insulation pulled into loose little nests, and you'll likely get hit with a very musty, ammonia-like smell. But I really want to highlight that second point: gnaw marks. Roof rats have to gnaw constantly just to keep their teeth worn down, which means they are treating your expensive wood framing and roof decking like their own personal chew toy. And unfortunately, this quickly snowballs into a completely different kind of nightmare, because the damage doesn't stop at just nesting. When rats chew through your roof's underlayment, or when they enlarge a vent opening to squeeze inside, they are physically opening your roof up to the elements. What started strictly as a pest issue inevitably transforms into a massive roofing issue. That gnawed hole, yeah, it quickly becomes a nasty ceiling stain after the very next San Diego rainstorm. And we have to talk about the ultimate danger of ignoring this. Gnawed electrical wiring is a severe, severe fire risk. This is what creates absolute urgency. They aren't just up there shredding your insulation. They're chewing on live electrical wires hidden right there in your walls and attic. All right, moving on to Section 3, the permanent two-step fix. It's time for a concrete roadmap to resolve this permanently. Here is the golden rule of rodent removal, perfectly broken down. Step 1, pest control removes the active rats. Step 2, a roofer seals the entry points and repairs the wood. Now, the order here really, really matters. You have to trap the active population while they're inside, otherwise you're literally trapping them right in your house. But remember our golden rule. Pest control handles the rats you have right now, but professional roofing repairs are completely required to keep the next generation out. Let's take a closer look at what that roofing fix actually entails. A vetted local roofer is going to start with a full inspection to map out every single gap. Then they'll screen your vents using galvanized metal or quarter-inch hardware cloth. And this is a vital point right here. Rats will chew straight through foam or plastic patches in a heartbeat. Absolutely no contest. You need metal. After that, the roofer repairs the damaged soffit, fascia, and decking to ensure solid wood is restored, and they'll seal up the eaves with metal flashing. When it's done right, proper exclusion is a one-time roof repair, not some exhaustive yearly battle.
Let's hit section 4, the insurance reality.
Before we wrap this up, we definitely need a quick warning about the financial side of rat damage, because it's the immediate question every single homeowner asks when they're facing ruined insulation, chewed wood decking, and a hefty repair bill. Does homeowners insurance actually cover roof rat damage?
The answer is, unfortunately, usually not. Most homeowners' policies flat out exclude damage caused by pests. Insurers typically treat it as a preventable maintenance problem, rather than a sudden, unexpected accident. So what does that mean for you? It means the chewed decking, the ruined insulation, and those soffit repairs are typically coming right out of your own pocket. Now, the one rare exception where a claim might actually land is if there's sudden resulting damage, like, say, a fire starting from a wire a rat chewed through. But generally speaking, read your policy carefully and definitely don't count on coverage for the physical roof repairs. Which brings us to our final and honestly perhaps most provocative question for you to chew on today. Are your roof's entry points actually sealed, or are they just sitting there, wide open, waiting for the very next generation of rats to move in? Think about it. If you've been relying purely on traps, you might literally be leaving the front door open. So if you're hearing those scratching sounds or finding half-inch droppings up in the attic, please don't wait. Get a thorough roof inspection from a qualified roofer to find and seal those quarter-sized gaps with metal before the physical damage and the eventual water leaks spread any further. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and stay safe out there.